Otumfour tena benchia di oba tem. Remember, oba ana abayua. It does not matter. Anytime I start a card, I say so many things we look out for before we make somebody a chief. Your man no end to me mwa me emfa chichiri kuro. Enja edin pa N20. Uko benchia. Nanse Otumfour betu ohini bi no. Onfa speculations into hini. Nanse wetu ahimfu bebre. Uti Otumfour ano asema. Ase all the speculations na ebu asema. Then with all due respect,
say after say Monaguchi PSC Afia Pokuaa kum chacha any other media houses panyifom wo eyo TV stormy menhia so mo de chopper ekwa akoma asante hene asante mai na chopper na nkoyi afa mo nipa menhia nimu pa say ne no beba social media no so aba be kasa Kelvin Ekotela, yes, because we have Kelvin Ekotela and Jubede would do social media and so in Pempi no asante mai asante hene enkoti kro debi ada no so to ayampia de ope and de oka e social in media and so nabusia ene no waba be kan semba kumienu e de afa chopper na nanoma tena nkonya na no dwada omotena se e wo mahyefi kesie wo bra Monaguchi PSC Afia Pokuaa Onye TV panyifo wo ho ne kum chacha ba yo manjo mo chopper no amfa ntum no o December kumienu aba betudwa na ansama wakeka me ne no kwa ya tra so amia so na ka kira dwokom me nkro hyehye me se bia second coming of Afia Pokuaa ne nabusuafo sene na nanom kaye so amfa nabusunya ne maame ne papa ni mpo wo no emfa ne mbra sa ya chopper no tum no me yem hyehye me se bia ye ngi ntum esan sema ne Kelvin Taylor oka any futura sabio otutugu eye gari nim gari papa no otutugu mu se asem no e de me Afia Pokuaa ene Monaguchi me ho adwiri me ebusua ye nkote Kelvin Ekotela ne nsem ne bi embra ne ba ye be fa nsem no e de efu e bodi dosopo de ba be somo e wa fidikese so share so am say aha e fresh gossip gh enti nsem ne bi embra sese.
Don't take positions for granted. Now adeba ku bia bi di hu ya opa es Afia Pokuaa we ene the group no e call menhia no. I saw chiefs sebio omo frantuma omutia Otumfour chaw mu. Yes so person ka asem kire Onyankopon wa wo ka kire mfrema. Enje so okọ ahemfie ana okọ menhia na ahemfo enan enum insia te ho. Na omka say ye na ye wo menhia di asem a it means every single one of them is wearing the shoes of omupenyini. Enti asante hene se oko menhia na se obi ti akonwam se ne ntuma ye fewo se ne ntuma anya fewo se ne ho fewo se ne ho nya fewo se wako school se onko school the moment menhia etu sa nipa no set na asam so ma me no it means nyansa onyame ededom de asante hene no ene entity a asante hene ko mu no ene senia ehu asante hene no you expect to say sa nipa no oto a sebio asam abeto na naso no obe yusu ana obe replicate the same nyansa Otumfour. Enti, when you see a handful, irrespective of whatever has happened, the difference between me and Ohene and say, Ebia some to me krumwa, the Mayame Hono, Ohene and Yen Hosa. That is the difference. And more importantly, so your Ohene na se utnim ama Ohene to say Otumfour. Your conduct, your actions, your utterances should reflect Nipana. Or didn't Pokuaa setting the diasam. I was quite amazed. Afia Pokuaa small kind to me, as a rational, analytical human being, I see nothing wrong with it. She spoke about so many things. She spoke about chiefs, she spoke about the president, she spoke about our attitude. Some of us, some tribes respecting other chiefs respecting other tribes. She basically touched on everything. But you see, what I was so ashamed about yesterday was, and I think say, so we are Santinina, Sebio, so we are Santinina Oyon Hinia. Mamen kane munpi say we show Otumfour say on Hinia. I was saying you o ferry ubu utri egbo form na Sebio okase akonya kesi efre no eye sikidwa no mogu n'anim ase. You know why? When you watch chiefs insult a woman on camera. Uhu ahemfo. Etete Otumfour name. Di obatem. Yana nkesi di atama ye jimi. Yana nkesi de emebunu aye nimu nyansa. Me nkopa hini bia ndi ye. Mpapa de di hini. Yana nkesi bi yesi ye de ye ntete ye. Yana nkesi se bi o ye de ye jimi. Efri se nsem efri ano ba na kire se ya ma ye ntete ye. Ye mfri fie. Nipa anhyeda antete ye kwan bi sumpa se bi o emponche kwa ye betumi di omo so. I understand. I accept it. There are other people who are using strong language like myself. I don't have a problem. It is how you see me. And think people should see us say, yana ye Jimmy, yana nsem free ano ba e wonte. Na for a chief or hinia ana ahemfo a mugina Otumfour papuom. E kasama Otumfour asem bi e free mumu bia no ba e bia e Otumfour ano asem. Inji saw your hine na se o kasama Otumfour na oba ana abayua. It does not matter. Anytime I start a card, I'm say there are so many things we look out for before we make somebody a chief. Sanka yakaso obia to be din hinia kebefo obia, but there are so many things answer be you hine no ehun se o wasade no. There are unique things e also wo asan we din hine. And this ahemfo asebio omo nyina gina Otumfour anemu na omo se kwasea na omo di obatam eto oba ho na nka ye ne nkwai ye ne ye nya ade hye e wa santimemu no ye ne asebio ye se ye nyini ya ya adwene wo fom a sebio ye busuafo entumi atete no ye mmom na nka wo se ye saa na se wo so TV abrante ababawa na ohu ohene pon se Otumfour anemu na ose abayo bi akasa etia na adwene no abayo bi akasa etia ne hene enti ne hene asoma ne se ombagina TV so endidi obayo anatema. What does it say about ohene no? This is the biggest embarrassment to ohene bia Ghana, because ende se obi di ahemfo na omutiti TV so edi obatem bebia ofri senia no hotie senia nanim tie na every insult that goes to you directly goes to Otumfour. In the sebio se me bia manaka se ahemfo a na sebio mo hye Otumfour empobuom edi atem sei sebio ma adwene wo fom ana sebio mo nim nyansa me di Otumfour atem efri se ho na mote no na mote wo se Otumfour. We should not put too much emotions. In the process of fixing a problem, you can destroy yourself. You might not like me, but what I saw, there be who ya no, ama be sia film. Tete no, ana ye nyini no, ni ehunu se menhia de. Sebio ohene bi bie na no akasa o menhia, na oyobi a sebio ya tete no. Se ohene etumi gina Ghana fo enim TV enim ewa ahemfie edi abayo atem adentra ono na adwene mu no the abayo ne kan ye no entwa yi a then with all due respect, any madman can be a chief. Any fool can be a chief. If you say there's no difference between war hinena or kasansem no TV so and me ametia. So I have no reason to regard you as a chief. So I saw what happened yesterday and they say it is a total disrespect. Just say ahemfo no mo be share no mo go Otumfour ko animase. They have lowered the respect at Otumfour, because if these are the council, with all due respect, so where mu na se bi omo ya ahemfo Otumfour ji omo di. Say osmo omo se omonko ti ni ma omo betuma ti ni ma, then with all due respect, there's a lack of sense somewhere. Because dear minimu no ohene entina bedwam endi atem. It does not matter. And you know one funny thing? Nobody forced this lady to come. So with that alone, no crampono, for the lady to even say, let me come, whether I'm guilty or not, no, you have to appreciate that. Say nipano or the buo amount. Now sa akwarani betina with nimu. Now out of you think you want to be popular, or out of childishness, you forget your role, the position you have been given. Now we jina national television, so now udi obatem, shene nine, Shenit mayene yenye. Now confondi atem. But for you to be representing Otumfour and Asantehene, for you to go that low, Sikejwa ebaye, enimguasiaka esikejwa enra ne count sikejwa kesiye. Say wa memory bia or see a yeni edit sikejwa. I don't disrespect anybody. I'm telling you, the reason why majority of the people today are not even watching their words are the actions and utterances of so-called ahimfubi. That is the problem. The message has been delivered. Asama Muhammad, peace be unto him, edebaye. Asama Yesu Christo, edebaye. Nipa bia ni asasi we so obetuma chechira tu no botum se mo bianka. De abayiwa ne kan wa kan wie. De abayiwa no ekaye no, what she said it. And you see, our problem as a people and currently our problem as leaders, we are missing the fundamentals. The emaye nipa ye di edomenim. The emaye ahemfo. The emaye nipetitru. We don't understand because we have been so involved in petty, emotional, tribal discourse. We have been so involved in petty, political, tribal discourse. So the principles, the emaye ahemfo, penifo, we've lost it. That's what I'm saying. Say, whatever this lady said, it's been said. And on earth till we all pass away, nobody can clean it. It is there. But how do we handle it? Especially, how do we handle it? Is this the best way we handle issues at Menshia? Is this how things are handled? You people want to tell us that this is how Otumfour handles issues. So you people have denigrated. Mati to me na yesisi kejwa wono mati so. Nti won asama na modwene se e wo sanka munya abotre na mpese pesem na mutie mu ye ahopepre ene nkwara bia mutie mu social media nti ahemfie kase sei mu ahemfo amuhia mogu nenim ase. Because this is how most of us now perceive Menshia. So na Menshia no sa asem koduru a ahemfo didi atam ni ensem ka sei ene wo ma no. Enti ye nchiriba na de na ye kire omo. Petty tribal discourse. Ehu ahemfo nom titi social media. Na omutie nkwara they don't even understand what they are talking about. Na ahemfo na be eno abeye personal. There's one thing that I noticed. BBC published a story way, right? And you could see clearly say story na BBC published. It basically exposes how our traditional system or our customs, how we need to elevate it. It is a cake. It is primitive. You know why it is primitive? It is primitive, and this is not only to Ebia Asante. It is primitive around the nation. And maybe Asembi and Yechahun Edeka Asembi. Now, when you read, and I would see, and I will read a BBC for story now. The BBC reporter interviewed a Menshia historian. So the statement or the quote that was in the BBC report, it wasn't from somebody on the street. It was from Menshia Abakwasam Nipa Odano. Now, so already how things are being done, then it means we are at a stage where Sebio, Obi Wuno ya nema yebeka se chukubilo yebenom. I'm telling you. And nobody should, at the end of the day, onto the customs. Na mamrene manmani entwene na onko fo obi de never. But we are also not supposed to be foolish and carry the ones that have been making things tough for us still around this time. Now, share the story. Let's break this down quickly. I don't want to spend too much time because, to be very fair with you, this story is not relevant. It's not going to change anything in Ghana. This Pokuaa issue, what is relevant about this whole story is the message the woman put out. the co-meanings around it, I don't see it as relevant. It's just a waste of time. The most relevant part of this whole thing is nyina said a asemna oba ne kae no, because ohini a wote asem so utubi bo usire mu ka asem then it is very critical that we have to be careful about the people we call leaders, because at a point na ahemfo no any abayo ne kasa no ohini ba ko ka say me sure say asoma, we have no evidence. If you're a chief, we are penyini na yede asem be si wu na so na ogina Otumfour mpobuoma, you don't speculate. Ade friend speculation. So what's Otumfour and a sumawa wotene mpobuoma, you have speculations and kasam. Because the moment you use speculations at the kasam no, then it means to say asam na nkasa wonimu na ebia e your time bi and the tiasam no so. Na obi aso nim se ura eye menhia. Ye ne first kedwa e de bosom ketwa ana bosom. That means to say asam na wote so no kra no enye no kra na wudi. In the video me who saw him because say oh yasma wo akogisika without providing any evidence no, I felt ashamed for me nshia na ma feria ma or say tutu. If we say nka bosremuka ana say in some yetietie no kwanchan ne didi asem wo menhia dia, then at the end of the day anybody can bribe their way through menhia. But because asante hine enim say san nyoma no entumi mboa me emfa nchichiri kuro enja edin pa n20 uko menhia ansa no Otumfour betu ohini bi no onfa speculations into hine na nse wetu ahimfu bebre so uti Otumfour no asema me say minim say me hwehwe mu no me tonsa frɛw me busa obia no de me behu ye nie. So he's speaking based on fact. Na so utina Otumfour mpobuom na also your hine we frantuma na say all the speculations they bu asema, then with all due respect you are more dangerous than Sebio Asantemai eye abosuma yakutia omo. And when I heard that from the chief, me tisa ohini because ano ma no feme me se feme me say ahindie ne amemu agosa no and they tena menhia e the speculations bosremuka and they de ka asem menhia o yemfa bosremuka and asem o menhia. It means you are lowering the ethics, you are lowering the trust, you are lowering what people perceive menhia to be. Now we are all beginning to believe that in Sembebreko menhia no a bosremuka judgment, because ohini bia otena asem we bia so no na otimu ema Otumfour. That means Otumfour uses speculations to judge cases in menhia. That's a question. Omo makam go social media omo to embobaba pre omo no, they don't even understand why they are doing what they are doing. So I don't spend my time on people who don't even understand, because what you don't know, you don't know. So I wouldn't engage a young man, a young woman who has just heard to say, yeah, Asantefo. No, I wouldn't engage you because your level of understanding is very weak. And you are not somebody I have to engage. I have to engage people who matter, who understand this issue. The message from Pokuaa cuts deep. It cuts deep. And if we don't deal with it, it is going to come and destroy us. People like us, we have spoken on such issues so many times. But normally, it takes one person to, at the end of the day, break some record around all of us. So, a reporter, menhia, a BBC, a reporter here now. Let's make it simple. So, we'll read this story now. Journalist apology not enough to satisfy Ghanaian king. Meaning, almost say, Pokuaa, achopa no kweno, Asantefo hene no, ansoneni, meaning, mo anamuti wodi nyina na mo represent Otumfour say tutu. Into so your hene, na ahemfo akese ewa santimemu, Otumfour ka se kotena makonwem, ne di asem na odi speculation. Na otumi bie wa na ka se yetua wo ka, ya soma wo, na wo sa nipa you don't deserve to even sit at the table of kids. Say enkwarasia eni se nka wotena mu bi. If you say sebio, so Otumfour nim say wa adwene wo fom sa o mountena na konwem, onim say you are going there to ask for the facts before you speak. Na so wo saa ohene no, wa adwene wo fom, we go Otumfour anim ase. I'm being, you see, I don't disrespect anybody, but I want to asem oni ye de be kire ebu a e wo sawoji. Enti report na free BBC kire say asantefo hene no o say eye a chopa na omde buy no onje. Time and omka so Otumfour to odabi, and so the records will show that it happened in Menchia. The record will show say ohini bia na oti asem no bia na Otumfour nti no to. You see? Enti when we are talking about limiting the relevance of Menchia, ahemfunom kotene muma Otumfour no didi obatem, because the whole world that will be on record say Menchia na yebu no, Menchia na yenim say sebio Otumfour maame sebio ka baby nyame fa no nkresie Menchia na ahema ewo bi no ehɔ ne yedi oba bebutu hɔ edin atem efa sene otie se baby ofri eno. It shows the mentality of Menchia. I could have said the mentality of Otumfour, but I'm not going to say it because Menchia no Otumfour dia. Menchia ya asante dia. So it's Menchia na and the duno. That is what we are talking about. The actions or the statement, the utterances a CEO Menchia, it has cut deep and limited the respect hundreds and hundreds of people around the world to be on the Menchia. Because if you're a human rights advocate, those people around the world who revered Menchia, when they see such a picture, when they see or hear such utterances from Ohenia or Te Edien or Te Ahimfia or represented the Ashanti King, it means that is what the Ashanti King they recognizes. Don't take these things lightly. Don't see it as another job. No, this cuts deep. And Otumfour said to he knows what I am talking about. Its implications on his kingdom that they have built. So this, you see it like that, it is not a joke. Because Otumfour nana, and I say sebio ohima biba I don't care about other people's traditions and customs. I don't care. But even after Obani Butu Hono, in sema a free nipanenumu baye etia Obano, it means the woman has agreed. She has submitted herself and said, okay, you did not even call me here. From what people are saying, I think I have to do this. For you not to even recognize that and to go ahead and use spiteful words against Oba, what's one another them. Me, I am ordinary. Me nyohene. Me nya president. Dia mekano. Especially when you are representing the Otumfour, it means you are speaking for Otumfour. Nti Otumfour tuono, asante hine tuono, eye bosremuka eno de chechira santemai. Mi busa eye atenie a ogina kamre nim ene tetia santemai. Efri se asema esi wo ho no senka $100 billion free mu baya anke beka se menhia busika. Into everything ends up in front of the leader. Now, say Ushe story na BBC na. Mr. P, stay with me, team. Ushe story na BBC na. Journalist's apology not enough to satisfy Ghanaian king, and come to my not enough to satisfy the chiefs. But I'm saying, bro, for no, I'm going to say. I inform you to Otumfour na neto. It Otumfour and an edio batem e TV so. Otumfour na etu oba ho. Otumfour na sebio or dio batem e me wiase nyina hu. Because who is going to take the responsibility? The person they are representing. Now I'll read this story. There's something interesting in the story I want you to know. And it's good that a year or more BBC reporter no interview the historian a Menchia ono na Menchia bakwasem ono na edien ono na nim ni nyina na muntie na monhwa ade. Now the comments were not well received by the traditional ruler. The head of the Ashanti Kingdom, Otumfour Nana Osei-Tutu II, occupies a powerful position in society, and it is considered hugely disrespectful to openly insult or criticize him. In terms say, as semana sebio Menchia bonjusun say, Otumfour di breneso. Inti eye musio sedien se obeden ube onfo buo amano se sebio ube di natam ana se ube kire wa adwene or say criticize him, meaning untumi disrespect Otumfour ena untumi so enye den and criticize no untumi kire wa adwene. I'm trying to find criticize, the key word. Untumi enchire wa adwene ewo Otumfour ne hini nsema anana hini a odi. You can't even, do not even share your opinion. Do not even criticize. So Otumfour ye bibi na se o adwenchire bi ana wo edien eye advice bi a odbe boa no emane de akekere ne man kra. E kire say you are not supposed to do it. This is from the BBC. Making kan dwedwem na ma kire bibi. Now, his official title is the Asantehene. You see the Diankasa. BBC for say the official title done so a Asantefohene. That is Asantehene. The BBC report, they took it from Edien, the historian from Menchia. That means Asantehene a Asantefohene. Listen. His official title is the Asantehene. Now, but he is also referred. That means if you are being referred, aka, listen, Kelvin Taylor is my official name. People can also refer me, or I can also be referred to as Edien Ibradango. I can be referred to as Edien Yesu Akonta. So my official name, Ninti Akonyana Dino, Edianka se ekutano eye Asantehene. Nanso yebetumi so afreno. That means those ones coming are not official names. Eye adia ubetumi dia kan ama enam no abopi. I say, but he is also referred to as Nyamekesiye. Almost sa afreno, the big God. In quote, meaning that's not official. It means that is what some people say. Nipebi chose to call him Nyamekesiye. That means Asantehene no omuhuni se Nyamekesiye eya Asantefour. Now Koenima, which means greater God. And as such, he is treated with maximum respect. Intinidianka said Asantehene, Asantefour hene. And as Sebio omutumi so esa friend ebia aka Nyamekesiye. No eye ahwahwa ye de kanidi no ho. Na omo ni se omo ani so no omo asebio asanteman a Otumfour di omo so no omo hu Otumfour so oye Nyamekesiye oye bosom kesiye inti sebio omo hu ni se but the dianka so omo de frɛ no eye Asantehene ebi so odi asante so. Na omo se because asante ne hu ni se oye kokuroko a osonti omo hu ni se e wo se ye man ebu a sebio ye de ma panyini bia. Maximum respect. Now, when you go for it, this is the BBC, that's not me. The BBC reporter spoke to the Menchia historian. I say, royal historian, or say Bonsu Safo Kantanka, who works for Asantehene. You see, royal historian, Menchia, the Menchia bekosem nyina edani trim a Asantehene ama no ho kwan se ono nko na sebio opese obusa Asante amamre abakwasem a oba Menchia royal adehye eden abakwasem no ono ene free na no ba ono ne die nim a okirikirem. I say, royal historian Osei Bonsu Safo Kantanka, who works for the Asantehene, told BBC, and I quote, that anybody wanting to criticize the leader must follow specific steps. You see, nipa ono na hwe abakwasam so e o Menchia no. Ono ena sebio ono no waka oni bibis focus o see. So pese oya den a o pese o kire wadwene. O pese bibi kwakyerew na o pese sebio o ka ho asem a e wo se first no ye wo emra bi a wo se wudi so. Se ba Asantehene dia ye wo mra e wo se wudi so. Listen, nipa na o church abakosem o Menchia Otumfour de ne mpobwa ma no de ne ahyem no a oye adehye abakosem on ne siesie keka mu nsem no say Otumfour nipa kese se o pese sebio ahini na obu no de ekoso asantememu se o pese o kire wadwene kura wo ho ana o pese sebio o kire wadwene na o ma Otumfour hu se bibi koyie enkoyie e wo se wudi emra bi so efiri se asanteman no omo hu Otumfour se e de Nyamekesiye. They see Otumfour asante hene se oyo mo nyankopon kese. Now story ni kwede ni mo say. And I quote, way every the historian, the royal historian. Or say, and I quote, you go through the Queen Mother. She is the only person who can rebuke him. Nipana oshe amamre ni abakwasam so e menhia na sebio eye menhia kasamafo eba eye amamre ene amane ene sebio abakwasam efa menhia ho ose nipa ba ko pe ene wa asase we su a obetumi atea asante hene ono ene eye asante hema. So asante amamre mu no menhia ana Otumfour say to de bosom kese eye asante hema nko na betumi atea no. We need to work on our tradition and customs. Asante hema nko a ene betumi atea Otumfour se oye bibi na nya nipa bia ni ho kwan se obetumi atea Otumfour. Now if you don't go through the Queen Mother and then you do it yourself, then you are in trouble. Or see, se Otumfour ya de na nye na se Otumfour twa sabina esano entene endim bo asante se asante nyoma nkoye bibia agiegu eye de asante man no adwirega na se wanko kan kire ohema na ono nko ane nipa obetumi to Otumfourfo a na se utwaja na okoka o de asem ama wo ho enti se sebio Otumfour se tutu ye bibi na enye ahene nye anya de o se de bosom kese ye na Otumfour ye kura na se wontumi nya the route to ana the road ana se the access to asante hema Otumfour se tutu o se nyina kan anu tum na oye de oye no. So it means asante akonwa no asante hema dia. That means Otumfour is just a vessel. Asante hema no na ye hene. If we say asante hema no ebu nani gu Otumfour ne ne bi a oya, that means asante hema betuma ahwemakuro na bo. If we say Otumfour ye bibi na obia ntumi nkan kire Otumfour na asante hema nko ande beka na asante hema so yi nani a, that means ekuro no asante hema betumi ama na bo. So Otumfour is powerless. Sanke ka asante akonwa de tumi kutana if we say infomso ene sebio eye de nipa nani ma no hoso ene matumi free nsa enti asante hema ne yi nani a asante abo. That means Otumfour ni nayem sene asante obekikire no if we say opanyini bia ni wa onhia good counsel so when nya futu pa enya de obetumi edi oman so. So from this statement from the historian, it is showing clearly say Otumfour is just a symbol. He does not control or have any power. It is the Asante Hema who decides how Otumfour's destiny will end up. Because so oyineni na se Otumfour ye bibi na nya o man be bo. Because from the historian, obia ni obiema at the end of the day obetumi etu Otumfourfo. Now, Mr. Osebonsu also criticized Mrs. Pokuaa for saying that Otumfour Nana Osetutu, who is in his 70s, was hard of hearing. Or see, dear Emma Mubufu and Crampo de say, Aya Equia Pokuaa and Casa Otumfour, Sebio, Asemoba, Ayana on Netiene ding. Inti osi enokura ka ho na abufuo ni akoma ne baaye adentina eye Equia Pokuaa ka che Otumfour se asema abaye nyina ye te because imre bi ye ka kire se Otumfour se tutu panie kurato eye kejeti a Otumfour te. That means bibie ni asantimema be koso Otumfour nte inta abaye wa ne ka che Otumfour se ade na nyoma ekoso galamse ekoso ye body patuo we nyina wo bu asogu so omo se enise abaye wa ne ka kire Otumfour sa asase ne se ya Otumfour te a mema ne act. And that is basically what he's trying to tell us. Now, so I want to do this. Mr. P, give me a little bit of time. Let's do this. Very important. So woko wenim na utie story na o ready eye historian eka na. Now, and I quote, if you use this word on even an ordinary person, he will not take it as a criticism. Or say, so because oh nana, na the echo see to nana person, okasa one tea, nana ya body patu, ya se koko, ya sensu, ya galam se was antimema, ya sa si se no, or say so okasa, ede what disrespect you to for. If you say nipa kura ono onni to me onam Ghana oka chane say hey na abayiwa ana eja ufie sebio upie frifie won fa aduane nje fie okọ also efie hwa yetan nkoro mo nyina dwonso nti de weni hu ene de wuti emfa ho ose nipa on street kwa oka sa asem chade bufu nti Otumfour de men kasa asa no do not ose menya wa adwene se nyoma nko ye kura obeka cha Otumfour se adan na ontu ho anamon samri na me de ama no. Now, this is the historian speaking. I think that's the statement from the historian. Now, so when you come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth, the fourth paragraph. You see this. But Miss Pokuaa's apologies were rejected by representatives of the Ashanti traditional ruler, and she was asked to leave the palace. That's. Thank you, Mr. S. She was asked to leave the palace. Now, so we read this story in our corner. What's going on? Okay, I got it. We read here. I'm gonna say, and I quote: "Take your cursed self and your troubles with you. Whatever comes your way in the future, deal with it on your own. Do not ever return," the Asantehene told her, according to local media. Inti nipa obi na no eka asasa me kire Ekua Pokuaa se fa omusioko de abetu bia ento no sa nipa na okasa asa na ya Asantehene na ekasa, because the BBC quoted Asantehene. And inti na make say Asantehene ti menhia edi obatem aka kire so oba se ombutu ho na yati krom ha na eye Diana Samoa ekodi nkranfo ahemfo atem. Do you see how nkranfo ahemfo no handle issue no? You never heard any chief blatantly or blanketedly from my guy, any chief specifically insult Diana Samoa, how she looks, how she's built. They address the issues. So for somebody kneeling in a palace is not new. It happens all over the place. But the issue is, omo na omabo de enchenku ha, omo ye mpenifo a, omo tewo, also omo kasa se mpenyimfo no, sebio omo hye Otumfour cha no. Did they show say sebio we ye mensia? That is where we are looking at it. And this time I say, what happened yesterday no, it has denigrated the power of mensia. The disrespect people are going to disrespect mensia a bit higher. If you say Otumfour na mensia di obatem. Remember, Obiano kasa as Otumfour. Mebatina mindi obiatemo. I am being critical. Actually, we Jimmy. Ena wadwene ya wo say asem no kora na ye dwudwem no how. Enisa wutie anasa u read BBC story na. It clearly tells you say the people who represented Otumfour and also Otumfour himself, no, he made Ghanaians understand, say, mensiana, ye was sa a boma mensiano, sa a bodu crabini ho. Because this is the issue itself. Abayu ekasa, oka Santifon Guanzem, oka Ghana sem, oka president asem. But you see, so your opinion you sometimes put away or put aside what you like. You sit and into the two for ye, Musamu and penny for Munshan and Pubum. Mabbe good in Imase. Mujra TV so cast a yasman, why not asmano? Why not asmano? Why not Tamsika Mobi? You are making vague allegations. Into Ochinaso Obiso Anubitiao says Sebio or Hini Yankasa Seya, or because Wasaka say Otumfour. These are things we talk about every time. Memaka abayuwa the obeka no wakan wie yes no mobetumi eku no asem no so kind report na abakwasam kire se Otumfour ye bibi na enya kura ohima nko na ebetumi aka kire no me se me busa asante o adenti Otumfour criticize aban in what capacity and Otumfour criticize aban? He's criticizing aban because he's Ghanaian and ameboa. Into Otumfour has the right to criticize aban. Adenti na yete Ghana na bibi because Otumfour asase so we cannot criticize. Because from what I know, the Republic of Ghana's constitution is 100 billion bigger than Otumfour. Otumfour is just a chief. And I don't disrespect Otumfour's capacity. But the constitution of this republic, without the constitution, there's no Otumfour. There's no Asantene. There's no chief in Ghana. In this Otumfour de Sebio or yen yomane enkoye na se yen to me and criticizing or say kofa eye ohima so a adenti Otumfour's capacity to criticize governments. Why does Otumfour criticize government? Anakoto de ne budget. If Otumfour cannot take criticism, constructive criticism, if Amamreno say, Mema Obi and criticize Otumfour, then Otumfour needs to respect Amamreno and never criticize anybody. But so Otumfour bien honas or criticize ya, we equally have the same right to criticize. And what you people are getting wrong, and say there's a difference between criticism and insult. What the lady did was criticizing Otumfour. If we said, "Dear ope adepa akwa kotokono yendina bro," yakase Ghana Asante na the most beautiful tower Otumfour di nebebo. Until we are not going to bypass Otumfour and speak on problems affecting Asante, never. Nobody's going to do that unless you are insane. You cannot bypass Otumfour and speak on the detrimental things happening to Ghanaians living in the Ashanti region. So Otumfour per se will be criticizing. I will say him criticizing. Then with all due respect to Otumfour say to he should not criticize anybody in Ghana. He should not criticize anyone that we use our taxpayer money to pay, because the president is being paid by us. We elected the president. We are the people. The job they are doing, we gave them the job, including Otumfour. In this, Otumfour sees it fit to criticize the president, criticize government, criticize institutions. Then Otumfour needs to understand that the same people he is criticizing, because when he criticizes the president, you have criticized the people of Ghana. He's not there on his own. He's there to represent us. And as far as Otumfour can criticize, Otumfour should be willing to take criticism. You people should understand. Unye ready say obebo slapper, men just slap. Unye ready say obeje slapper, men bo slap. It should be simple as that. It is a sign of my way. Ya antena se, na ye nyi mfiri ho, na ya antia ye nwase, na obi ka asama, ye ntia asamo no. Let us listen to the message. Sir, abaywa esiso na waka komfo no chi asem. Na say your kind of ankoya konfonochi, is it in a good state? It is not. Sabaywa no aka galamse wasem. Na say bia ensem na fi na no ba no ehon tia. The fact still does not change. Say galamse ekoswa santimem, nobody is paying attention. Nobody is taking a decision. These are facts. There's nothing that has any malice behind what the lady said. Into a seminar or Kaya, and so what you know saying, how are you people going to react to a seminar? Yenja seminar to Otumfour Asante in seminar abayo ne kan efa apomudin wa santimemu efa edien eye galamse a ese asase a nipa ewu deformity yenja ye no to na ye ne abayo we nkoko se Asante man. Are we helping the generation coming? Asemono yenja nto Yengai as someone into war. Na yeni abayu anenkoko, because I want to know, what is your view on the matter? Mibusa Asante in a question. As someone yenja into sa na meme yanka wa semu biom. Galamse as someone yenja ka. Eye konfono chi asem yenja eno kana na yemfa ni nkoso abayo no so. Asem no yejai asem no. Mo a muti social media edi atem edani we tribal thing no. The question is ahemfo no mkotene mu ma Otumfour no asem no yenjai ka. Asem no any galamsey.
Abusuan sem we bi anene no air trend wa be fontinta fidikese so na ka chiri adwakru mo mede esomo. Tap send digital business and entrepreneurship na osoyen asene. Koso like yen platform yi share, leave you comment and say won sempa ene nema pa e de ma wana mi sem ni na esi makra.